Hi. So for major project number two, my strengths would probably, I think, be being able to analyze the source that I chose and being able to recognize the three types of rhetorical analysis that the author chose to use, which were ethos, persuasion, and broadening the audience. I think it was kind of easy for me to identify them, and I think probably one of my weaknesses would be trying to keep my opinion um, out of what the author was trying to do when if he successfully or not successfully kind of used those analysis skills, and just trying to not put that in what I was writing was kind of difficult for me. So what was involved with moving from summarizing to analyzing? So with summarizing, it's a lot of just taking what the author is saying and putting it into your own words and really comprehending it and then kind of spitting it back out. But with analyzing, what I found to be different was that you kind of had to put yourself in the author's shoes and think, okay, what is the author trying to convey to the reader, or what tools are they trying to use to enhance the reader's experience? So I think the difference with that is you have to kind of think of what the author is trying to do when you're analyzing, whereas summarizing, you can just take what you're given and summarize it yourself. So the skills that I learned during this major project number two would probably be, when reading, being able to identify ethos or persuasion, or the fact that they're broadening the audience. Before this project, I didn't really ever think about that when I'm reading. I just kind of took the information and comprehended it. But after this project, it's nice to kind of be aware that, okay, the author is trying to get me to agree with him or get me to think that he's credible or something like that. So I think being aware of that when you're reading is really helpful, because it can kind of help you gauge what the author's trying to do with the information. So I think that will help me going forward. And something that kind of clicked for me during this project would kind of just be, I think that when you're writing and you have to kind of put yourself in the shoes of the author, which I think is something that I never really did before. So it was interesting because as soon as I learned, okay, I have to put myself in the shoes of the author in order to properly analyze, that's when the project started to kind of hit the ground running for me, just because it made it so much easier.